Hello everybody, thanks for being here. Today I'm going to show you how to make the most delicious English muffins you've ever had in your life. If the only thing you've ever had is store-bought English muffins, trust me, after this, you will never buy store-bought English muffins again. Let's go. Okay, before we get started, I want to give you this great baking tip. If you're always worried about having milk and whether or not it's fresh, you have to try dry whole milk. Keep this in your pantry. Use this instead of regular store-bought in a gallon milk, and you will be satisfied. This will make not only your bread a little bit, how do I say it, smoother, a little bit more softer, but it'll give a great richness to it, and you never have to worry about spoiled milk. This works fantastic. It's not a an ad for Horizon Organic. Any dry whole milk will probably do, but I can't stress this enough. This is a great tool to have if you love to bake. All right, here we have the ingredients that we're gonna need. We have our yeast, our butter, sugar, salt, flour, and milk. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all these dry goods except for the butter and the milk. We're gonna set that to the side. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna add it to the flour, whisk that all in. Let's get going. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of salt. Get that in there. We're gonna whisk that all up. I like to whisk each of the dry goods separately, salt especially, because I want that flour to kind of cover that salt. Get in there. And the next we're gonna do the same thing with the sugar. With that sugar in. Gonna whisk it up. And now, lastly, we're gonna add our yeast. Let's add that in. Some recipes will tell you to add it to your liquid. I find that with instant yeast, that's not really an issue. All right, let's take this over to the stand mixer. Okay, we got the stand mixer going on a slow speed, about 2 or 3 there. And we're gonna slowly start to pour in our milk. Now, if you don't have a stand mixer, you can easily do this by hand yourself. It will take a little bit more time. You're gonna have to add probably about an extra 4 minutes to your kneading, 4 to 5 minutes to your kneading. But if you have a stand mixer, this is gonna work best. Pour a little in at a time. You don't want to overwhelm the flour right away. Let it just mix in. Now let that continue to go on slow, a low speed, for a few minutes until all of the moist is incorporated with the dry. And we're just gonna wait to put in that butter. Okay, it's been a few minutes. Now it's time to introduce some butter, a little at a time. Once you have all the butter in, allow it to incorporate and then turn it to a higher speed. Let that go for about 7 to 10 minutes. Okay, this has been going for about 7 minutes. Let's check it out. Let's see how it looks. Look at that. There you go. That's the way we want it to look. This is gonna do great. Next step, we're gonna take this dough, take it out of the pan. Everything out so it's easier to clean later on. Next step is we're going to take this beautiful dough here. I'm going to turn it into a bowl by folding it in on itself like this. Create that tension underneath. Wrap it up like this. And we're going to tighten that up. Look at that nice little baby dough. This is so pretty. Okay, you take that, set it to the side here. We're gonna take a bowl, pour a little olive oil in it. There we go, don't need a lot. A little trick here, if you don't know this already, take a paper towel, wipe on the inside, get it all greased up, going all around. Then we're gonna take this beautiful puppy and we're gonna plop it right there. Now we're gonna cover it up with some plastic wrap. If you have a modern oven, chances are you have a bread proofing feature. If so, use that. Stick it in for about an hour and 30 minutes, but keep a watch on it because you really just want to wait for it to double in size. If you don't have a bread proofing feature in your stove, just set it out on your kitchen table and wait for it to double in size. Okay, it has doubled in size. Look at that. Isn't that a beauty? Let's take it over and time to split it all up. Okay, we got the dough. We're gonna punch it down. Ooh, bad boy, get down there, get down there. We're gonna scrape all this out. Should come out nice and easily because of all that olive oil over there. Okay. Okay, now the most important step, we're gonna let it rest for 10 minutes, 10 minutes. We'll be right back after it's now that we've let the dough rest for about 10 minutes, we want to divide it up into about 100 grams pieces. We're going to take it like this, set it on there. We're looking for 100. Oh, 97, 98. Look at that, so close. 91, 97, 100. Perfect. So we're going to set this, put it right there, and we're going to do the same thing a second time. We want 100 grams. A little too much. That's close enough. There we go. Let's do all these, and bam! Now that we have them divided into 12 pieces, we're going to create little bowls for them. But first, what we're going to do is I'm going to get the tray and I'm going to set it on ready right next to it over here. Let's do that. Now I've got a tray with some parchment paper on it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle some corn meal all over it. Oh, I want to cover everything there. Get that nice and in there. And there we go. That's going to sit on there. Give it nice texture, nice taste. It's going to be great. Okay, first thing you're going to do is you're going to take each piece and you're going to fold it in. You're going to make bowls. Now, bowls are really easy to make at this size. We're just going to fold it in to the center. And what I'm doing is I'm creating tension on this side. You see, I want to create tension there. And then once I have that all done, I'm going to turn that over. I'm going to go like this. See how easy that is? Simple. There you go. There's a bowl. Let me show you one more time. You're going to take the dough and you're going to pull it inwards to the center. Create that tension. Put it all like that. See, nice and smooth. And then you're going to set them on top of the paper over here. Okay, now that we got them all booled up and placed on the cornmeal, we're going to cover it with plastic and proof it one more time for about 45 minutes to an hour, again, until it's doubled in size. Now, if you don't have plastic wrap to use, that's okay. Feel free to use a towel, a moist towel or something like that. The idea is that what we don't want to do is lose moisture. We don't want to lose any of the moisture that's in the dough. So that's why we want to wrap it so we don't lose any of that precious moisture. And into the oven it goes again to proof. Okay, Okay, I just pulled these out of the oven and they are ready to be cooked. I'm going to show you how that's done. It's a little different than most breads. We're going to start off on a griddle first before we put it in the oven. Let me show you. Okay, we've got our griddle up here. I got it on a low medium heat, medium heat. Now we're going to put each of these right on top. We're going to let these cook for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then we're going to flip them over. Okay, these have been cooking for about 5 or 6 minutes. It's time to start turning them over. And you'll notice when you do, the other side should be light brown. And don't worry if it deflates a little bit. It's going to deflate. There's a lot of air in there. Okay, and we're going to give these another 5 or 6 minutes to cook on the other side, and you'll notice that my oven is on here, and that's because when we're done here, we're going to put them in the oven for about 6 more minutes to make sure that they're cooked internally to a temperature of 190 to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, it's been another 5 minutes. We're going to take these, to check them. Yep, they're ready to go. We're going to place them back onto the tray. Then we're going to take these and we're going to put them in the oven for about 6 minutes. And we're going to let these cook for another 5 minutes. Okay, it's been another 5 minutes. It's time to turn these puppies over. Let's see, look at that. Nice and brown looking. There you go, give them another 5 or 6 minutes. Now while those cook, we're going to take these, put them here. We're going to get our trusty dusty temperature monitor here. We're going to stick it in the middle. We want to hit about 190, 200. That way we'll know they're cooked on the inside. Okay, there we go. We got it, 190. These are ready to be set up on the cooling rack. Now these have had enough time to cook. We're going to take them and put them back on the rack. Let them sit in there for 5 minutes and then we'll come back to them. And we've taken the second batch out of the oven. We've placed it on the cooling rack. We've checked the temperature. And these are all done. These are your delicious English muffins. Before we go, though, I got to show you how to open one of these. So let's take one. You're going to take a fork, and you're going to poke around the edges. Look at all those nice nooks and crannies. Doesn't that look delicious? Look at that. Delicious. Best English muffins you'll ever have. And there you have it. Some great tasting, delicious English muffins. Look at that. Delicious. Once you learn how to make these, you'll never, ever go back to store-bought. They're just never the same. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this and if you want to see more of our videos that are hopefully going to come out soon. Other than that, have a great day, everybody.